What is going on, guys? Katie Arsenal 141 here. We are back with some more Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Now, it's been a while since we played this game. Obviously, I wanted to cover, Black Myth Wukong. I did, 2 parts of that. And we will be continuing Wukong, don't worry. But I wanted to get back to this because I wanted to finish it. But I did need to also take a break from this game. I don't know if you guys know, but these cases are getting darker. Like, the people is like getting darker and darker. So we got to go after a villain in this place right here, and it's a costume party. As you can see, these guys, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was like a picture, and there was like a party or whatever. So this is that party. This is that party, and this case might be a bit much.
Welcome to the Manchus Mansion.
These people are pretty evil, so I will warn you. This is like a pretty bad cult we're going after.
Welcome, sir.
Also, I want to say thanks for my latest follower, 4can Detran. I appreciate the follow. Alright, so this is one of the craziest.
There is still plenty of time before the grand finale.
As you can see, there's this depraved party. Ideally, I'm gonna solve this case as
If I
fast
write
as
an
I
article
can.
about these people here, can you help me gather information about poor donors, elite?
Alright, let's see what's going on. We got a whisper here.
Do you know what was said?
Okay, gotta do that one again.
Do you know what was said before Mancho's family bought it?
These eavesdropping puzzles are crazy sometimes. No. Yep. What's going on with that yellow press? Before Manchio's family, the mansion was owned by an occultist architect. That makes sense. Yeah, because this is a cult. He dedicated his life to conducting a powerful ritual from the Forgotten Tomb, but the ordinary magic circles proved too weak for it. That was why he built this mansion. A keen eye might notice that its shapes correspond with certain magical symbols, and some walls have cavities. One day the architect simply disappeared. An ash stain on the floor was all that remained. Perhaps he was successful in his endeavor.
That's what I like about this party.
He might have
Bring
summoned
me
the
more
wrong
dirt,
spirit and
Sherry.
got taken out.
One more piece, and I can
Alright.
expose these base
And these
hedonists.
people are
Curtains do not
Straight up.
guarantee privacy.
straight up devil
And you still
worshippers.
need a crack, despite being ethereal.
But we're gonna bring whoever is the culprit to justice. What's going on with John?
One of these books must open a secret passage. I know it.
Yeah, the reason why we're wearing this too.
Well-known
it's our
and
key
recent
in, so we
plays
have
to keep up to date
like,
with the
dress
current
part.
trends.
So we gotta wear one of these black robes. Is there anything else?
My goodness, Sherlock. They made a blood fountain.
No, John, it's definitely not blood, just wine. Cahors, is it a guess?
Let's see if we can get in here. Can't go that way.
Mancho's had to enforce the masks after the scandal. Mancho's.
Okay. Someone was sick. Nope. Nope. Lost a bet. Nope. Offended the Duchess. Okay. That's what it is.
Nancho's had to enforce the masks after the scandal.
Fired after the accident, yeah. It's offended the Duchess. Okay.
Nancho's had to enforce the mask.
Alright. Yellow Press. People described the scandal from a previous party. Vice Governor Cowden was found by his wife to be a Prussian duchess in the company of young men. Although the marriage was intended to be a political one, the emotions of the duchess were real. The incident instigated a political crisis between Cordana and Prussia. Although there were only a few notes of protest, the governor was fired. Fire his protege. Okay,
I'll pin them down, Biscoop.
let's see. Yellow Press. Invitation from Vogel.
Thank you,
Yeah, I told you
Sherlock.
guys Vogel was just insane. Oh, we got a trophy. What was that? Lift the curtain behind the bohemian life.
Is this familiar to you?
Don't take it personally, sir. But I know nothing about this.
Okay, yeah, we can't go in here. This is the door. Can we go out of here? Trying to find out which way I need to go. It's gotta be this way, right?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Don't take it personally, sir. But I know nothing about this.
Alright, here's Vogel. I told you guys I didn't trust Vogel.
Sherlock! Friend! I wasn't sure you'd come.
Yeah, we're not friends.
Werner, I see you are not yourself.
The more time you spend here in Cordona, the more I feel it my duty to bring you into our world and show
No,
you all
thanks.
we have to offer.
And what is on offer today?
Pleasure, indulgence, relief, and relaxation. You've earned some time for yourself, have you not?
Those who know me would say I'm incapable of it.
Nonsense. I refuse to believe there is anyone permitted to know Sherlock Holmes.
That would be reckless.
My mind is my most valuable asset and a finely tuned instrument I will not risk impeding its function. My ultimate duty is to provide the world with truth, and I do that perfectly well as is.
Duty? You've never cared about that before.
Of course I do. Exposing a lie, revealing a fact, that is a moral responsibility.
That's not morality. Morals are what happens afterwards when truth collides with consequence. Do you ever follow up on cases you solved? Do you ever see what happened next, visit the victims, ensure justice is served in the courts? And how do you choose where to direct your attention? Are there not deserving causes to which your brilliance could be applied but isn't?
You ascribe me more power than I possess. I have a narrow skill set and work within that mandate. What occurs afterward is irrelevant.
With every action or inaction, you place a finger on the scales of morality. Many in the city would see you as abdicating your responsibility.
I haven't.
Not me, of course. Morality is subjective, just like truth. There is little to be gained from indulging in it, and far better things to indulge in. Now I must insist on easing any burdens I've placed upon your shoulders. Show yourself a kindness, and try this rather delectable concoction.
Yeah, right. He's trying to get us knocked out. I don't think so. I'll take it for a study.
If this solution truly does assist with thinking, then well, perhaps it would be puerile to overlook an opportunity to study it. I'll take it with me.
Yes, Sherlock. Very good. And now, our evening begins in earnest. I just remembered.
Alright, so we got all the evidence we need. Let's get out of here. Alright. Vogel gave me a key so I could talk to someone named Fabio in the altar room. Alright, looks like we got the body.
My God. Was he here this whole time?
Alright, let's solve this puzzle. I knew that Vogel was evil. I'm suspecting Vogel is the
This
perpetrator.
elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger. This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. The ointment smells
Oh yeah, you know what? Now that we're in here, okay, you can't
mouse-like.
take off the
I
costume.
presume it is an aphrodisiac. This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger. The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony.
That's what he tried to give us. So Vogel just
The
tried
ointment
to
smells
knock us out.
mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly. This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive.
Yeah, these people are insane. Alright.
Identical to the robes the guests are wearing.
Alright. Let's examine what's going on with this guy and bring this murder to justice. This is the weapon.
This golden handle has a bloodstain on it. The dagger is heavy and sharp, but lacks balance.
This is probably
This
the worst
worm-like
case yet.
sigil has been drawn with his own blood.
You can see why I did not play this part yet. Only for you guys. If I wasn't a streamer, I would not be playing
This
this.
crude tattoo partially covers as slave branding.
Okay.
A blunt force trauma may have suffered an internal hemorrhage.
You got cut right there.
The wound
too.
is deep. A precise strike reached the heart.
I don't really see anything else. Let's go around. There's gotta be something else. Oh, here it is.
The victim has clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it. He died right here.
Wait, what is Vogel's in his room now? I think it's him. I told you guys in that last part, I do not trust this guy. This guy's weird. He has weird art. He goes to weird art parties. And now you got this.
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion. An open wound spoiled the carpet. Why don't people tidy up after themselves?
Bottle of wine.
Blood. A sturdy bottle met a not-so-sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened.
Anything else in here?
Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set. Similar to the guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains. Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Banchos.
Would you recognize me in one of these? I suppose not.
Oh, we got another key.
The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me. The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio.
Alright, check this out. Don't ignore the guests, Matista, and stop bothering them. They don't want to hear about your stupidities. They want to feel how beautiful they are and how generous you can be towards them. You are here to please and celebrate life. Remember, each guest paid a great deal to be with you. Manchios.
How can anyone accept such behavior?
Exactly. It's crazy.
This is a different ritual.
I found a scenario of some sort of ritual with the remark written at the beginning. It says, read and rehearse this right. Okay, so a bunch of crazy stuff.
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal.
These people are sick. Even if Voljo isn't the murderer, he needs to go to jail just from hanging with these people.
The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it.
Guilty by association.
Blood clots are adhered to the sides of the drain.
Alright, we got the evidence. Is that all we need? Let's go to the Mine Palace. We got one. Fabio was killed in a ritual murder. Oh, yeah, of course. Yep. We knew that already. Oh yeah, there were droplets of blood on the carpet. Okay.
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood. A bloody handprint on an armchair. The wounded person was here for some time. There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar. This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus, drawn in a hurry. Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder.
Yeah.
I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
Exactly.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts. But I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner.
Let's see.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were...
Filling time?
Waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
Who is Mr. Mencius?
Mr. Manchios is the owner of the manor, yes?
And the host of Cordona's most
He needs to go to
memorable
jail.
parties. He promises even the ugliest
prison,
guest
I mean.
a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil, not this travesty that...
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later, only to find the lock was not blocked?
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
Alright, we got another mind puzzle again.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Here we go again with these puzzles. Alright. We should have it.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Let's go back in here. Alright, we got
The
it.
bottle was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you all right? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
Alright. Let's try to figure this out. Let's see. The room was unlocked. There we go. The murderer had a key to the altar room. Okay. Fabio was killed in a ritual murder. The ritual was a cover. Yeah, I think that was what it was.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all.
I'm not supposed to know anything about this. I'm not supposed to know anything about this. I can't follow you here. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I can't follow you here. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I can't follow you here. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I can't follow you here. I can't follow you here. I can't follow you here. I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
The murderer had to have access to this
Alright,
room.
most of that he
After
didn't
the
wanna talk
crime,
about none of
he
it.
used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry.
A mask with golden stars. He's right here.
Let me see that stallion up close.
Kurt Manchios, I presume. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me about. What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a
I guess he's
handsome
suspect
young
number
man.
2
Can I call you
in this cult.
Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What? Lower your voice. I don't want anyone to hear
Why
us.
not?
Did you know Fabio well?
People are starting to look at us, Sherlock. Change the subject. I can't believe what happened to him.
Alright, he's
To
looking
me,
real guilty.
Such an atrocity. Think what it means
Real
for
guilty
me.
right now.
A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined. I have betrayed all my promises of exotic delights.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos? Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his opinion, at least.
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes. He will be busy with the servants. Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on? Freeze, filth. You're under arrest.
Oh, shots fired. Oh, thank God. The police actually showed up. Wait. Oh yeah, thank God. The police actually showed up and busted up this cult. But I think we might actually get caught up in it because... Yeah. The police actually did their job. Wow. Alright, yeah, we got swept up in it though.
Look at you. Committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologize for the inconvenience.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we have Vogel in his letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig. Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was working on the paperwork for that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes. Why?
Perhaps we can negotiate. I could be quite useful.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then, partner.
All right,
I'm glad we
back on the right side.
managed to get the scoop before the raid.
All right. our police uniform. Let's get out of that. Coat clothes. Okay. Let's check this table. Following a report from a witness of the satanic ritual who claimed to have found a body, the raid on Machino's mansion was granted. It resulted in the arrest of multiple suspects and dispersal of the group in masks and robes caught in acts of gross indecency and unnatural behavior. I gotta give the police their kudos on that one. They actually did something for once in this game. The body of the victim was found lying in an altar with a knife wound in the chest. The officers identified the victim, Fabio 20, local performer and artist. Arrested suspects, Vogel. Vogel had a letter of an insulting nature in his possession, which had been written by the victim. He claims to have found the body. He is infamous for his eccentric personality. Sherlock Holmes, suspect 2, carried a murder weapon, a dagger, with the victim's blood and other items of evidence. He was invited by another suspect, B. Vogel, presumably to obstruct the official investigation. K. Machinos, the owner of the mansion and organizer of the satanic party, paid the victim to participate in the ritual. He had access to the crime scene. Batista, Fabio's partner and participant in the ritual, tried to escape, resisted arrest, owned a book with a description of a ritual performed in the altar room. Some of the guests are temporarily detained for further questioning. Okay.
Back on track to solve the case.
Glad to be out of that place. I, Santos Pachetti, am a witness who reports a suspicion of murder at the Machinos mansion in Gran Surrey. During preparations for the social party, I heard loud noises from the closet altar room. Immediately, I thought of the sacrifice of a living being overwhelmed by none other than Kurt Machinos. There was blood on the wall, strange symbols, and a dagger in the heart. As soon as I was able to think clearly, I rushed to the police station to report my findings. The station responded to the disposition by sending a patrol, while the witness left the station and went home. Okay, so that's who reported it. Okay. What is this? The provider of this ticket has permission to inspect all evidence on case number 62-60. Alright. So we're still gonna bring him to justice. We got caught up in that raid, but it's all good. Let's see. Pachetti is a suspect. Pachetti is a suspect who should be arrested and questioned. He had a key, which he did not mention in his disposition. Okay. Anything else? Alright, nothing else in the Mind Palace we can use.
Look, I found Werner.
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes. Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
Not
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
I wouldn't lie for you. Nope.
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I can't follow you here. I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
Wait a minute. So he's telling us to lie, but we're asking him questions. He's not answering any other questions.
I don't think I can tell you anything about this.
I have learned who told the police about the
gonna
crime.
talk.
It was Santos Pinchetti,
Do I know him?
the major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you.
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him. I know you can untangle this mess.
Who's this?
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista,
is
Fabio's
Matista.
friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
I don't think she did it.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Let's see what I can see. She has some marks. A brand. Ooh. Cuts. Hands. Nail biter. Nervous. And she has that symbol, the cult symbol. I don't see anything else. Any other identifying symbol? Okay, ankle. Scars. Disassociated from her body. Punishes herself for the past. Yeah. For being part of that cult.
Fabio and yourself were slaves, am I correct? You have a similar branding on your body.
Yes. It was a long time ago.
Couldn't help but also notice fresh cuts upon your forearms.
The cuts helped me to forget my past, to cover the old wounds and hide them.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Cordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite, sometimes.
It's a good thing that the police busted up that cult. Now, you know, these people can get free and stuff.
Oh, what a long day.
Now we're an official police officer. We got our certification earlier in the playthrough. Wait. They ain't arrest everybody. Alright, yeah, we got a corrupt guy in here. Somebody in here is corrupt. We gotta find him. Because these guys should be in cells. These are the culprits. They're sitting around drinking with the officers. They should be in these cells.
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting young officers. The new blood here.
If you cooperate in finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the boars again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy, after all.
I need to examine you first.
Alright, he's our third suspect. I know Virgil didn't do it. I know Matista didn't do it. I'm thinking it's him. I don't know who Pachetti is, but I have a good feeling that it's him. I feel like we're talking to the guy. This has got to be the guy who did it. If there's a guy who did it, he looks like this. Like, he looks like he's one of the leaders in the car, right? He wears makeup. That's one of the signs. He tried to have hair dye so he wouldn't have gray hair. He washed his hands in a hurry and he has red marks on his hands, just like the crime scene that we re-engineered. Okay. Polished his shoes, hides his age, stickler for cleanliness. Wishes to hide his age. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say he wishes to hide his age because he did have hair dye, and that's something to hide your age. And he used makeup too, so he's trying to hide his age.
You are a little over the top with your use of makeup, Mr. Manchios. Is it so difficult for you to acknowledge your age?
Well, Sherlock, that's easy for you to say to an old man when you look as though you are barely 15.
But still, it shouldn't be an issue for someone of your status.
For people of my age, it isn't an issue, no. But the younger ones can be so afraid of wrinkles and grey flecks. I have to adapt.
Such
I
a
think Sherlock
methodical
is in
man
his 30s
who cares
and
for his body but misses the soap
he's like
under his
35,
fingernails.
but yeah.
Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here, with you alone.
I'd like to know who you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds who are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true laborers, I see. Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
What about having like normal parties?
What was
Not like
Fabio
with all the
like?
weird art and
His
stuff.
personality, his habits. Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
What?
Expensive champion, I imagine.
Yeah,
His
this guy's
performances were
weird.
flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
Possibly. What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
Alright, let's present him with the evidence. One thing I could say I do like about this game, the way they set up the evidence, the variety of cases, and slowly the enemies that you're exposing, the crimes, you know, get more and more heinous. Obviously there's always a body usually, but the crimes have been getting, you know, more and more heinous with each case. I think this is the last case of the main story. But even though they did a, you know, somewhat similar, you know, objective for each case, they managed to mix it up. And so now we have actually all the evidence, and we're going to question at the end instead of, you know, gathering a bunch of evidence and then, you know, the way we're doing it. Okay. Let's see.
That's not something I know much about. That's not something I know much about. You'd better ask someone else. That's not something I know much about.
Yes, he does.
That's not something I know much
We're
about.
going to get him to talk, guys.
You'd better ask someone else. You'd better ask someone else. I've no idea about that.
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the
I
wrong one.
know it's him.
The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine.
He's
He has
trying to
dared
blame
to
Pachetti.
besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the
No.
police.
He's trying to blame Pachetti. I know it's him. It's gotta be him. It's gotta be. I haven't met Pachetti yet, but I'm pretty convinced that he did the ritual murder on the guy.
That's not something I know
And
much
he
about.
doesn't want to talk either.
That's not something I know much about. I've no idea about
You notice
that.
he's saying, like, for most of the evidence, he's saying he doesn't know.
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protege and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
Alright. I do want to thank you guys. I noticed today I got 100 subscribers on YouTube. It's been a long time coming. It took me from March 2023 to August 21st, 2024 to get 100 subscribers. So I really appreciate you guys supporting me. It means a lot. I was planning a giveaway, a signed copy of my book. I'm not sure how I should do the giveaway, So I'm still planning that, but I will be doing a giveaway to my followers. I'm still thinking about how I should set it up though. I don't know if I should run it through the Discord or what, but once I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. But I will be doing a giveaway of a signed copy of my book.
I can't
gotta
wrap my
find a
head
way to
around
get
such a tragedy at my
somewhere
party.
where I can get you guys names so that you can sign up and then, you know, make it fair and random. I've never really done a giveaway before, so I have to figure it out. Because I want it to be, you know, fair as possible. But what I might do is, since I do Twitch and YouTube, I might just give away one copy for YouTube, one copy for Twitch. I know everybody on Twitch because it tells everybody's name, but I don't have all my YouTube followers' names. See, we got all this evidence. Santos. Let's go to the Mine Palace. Alright, we got a lot of stuff in here. A lot of possible things. Let's see what we can match together. Kurt Machino says scrupulously clean. Here we go. Machino's washed himself after the murder. Yep. Batista has fresh bruises. Batista was bruised by the guests. See, Vogel is held because of the letter. Chetty. Fabio bruised Batista during their fight in the smoking lounge. No, it's the guest. Get back to our case book.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
Yes, you can.
Oh, what a long day.
Let's see. Who else is here? I guess we can't talk to that guy.
Don't look at them. They'll serve us if necessary.
You'd better ask me a question I know how to answer. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. You'd better ask me a question I know how to answer. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I've nothing to say about this.
Have you considered Mr. Santos Pinchetti as a suspect?
The snitch? Have you seen him? I mean, my breath could knock him down. What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here. They brought him in, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to interrogation room number 7. Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist, our men said.
Thank you.
You can question Mr. Pinchetti in the interrogation room.
Long day.
It says Santos is in the interrogation room. That's just a cell. Oh, this must be Pinchetti.
Mr. Pinchetti, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And I've read it. You forgot to mention that you hold the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
Alright. Let's see if he's telling the truth or lying, or if he's capable of doing it. The hands, I don't see anything. Let's check the shoe. Oh, he does have some blood on his shoe, so that's suspicious. He has stitches on his suit, so it's been cut a lot. That's also suspicious. But, you know, being in that place, he has psoriasis. He recolored his suit a couple times. A head servant.
You are the major domo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide under heavy makeup a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
I do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest?
Did you know Fabio?
Not personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always, Fabio-centric?
And Matista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
Alright, let's go back to the Mine Palace. Pachetti missed the blood splatter. Pachetti accidentally stepped in it. That's what it was.
Please let me out.
Check out his belongings.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
A small note attached to the will said, Santos, my hopeful slug, you begged me to include you in my will, so I did. Here's my latest revision of the will. Kurt, the text of the will under the note, Santos Pachetti, the major domo of Machios Mansion, receives a jar of mustache wax and salt lamp that he might always remember his caring employer Kurt Machios. Wow, that's cool. So he doesn't really pay him, and he puts him in the will, but he only gives him mustache wax and a salt lamp. That's terrible.
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a major domo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle. And I'm his next of kin. The only one.
Family.
Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love, cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Dang.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a major domo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
Yeah.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
Santos Pachetti's efforts in vain. So he's forced to work with no pay.
That's not something I know much about.
I've read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it? Is the slug here? Tell him I shouldn't have to provide for him. He's a grown man who shouldn't sit on his uncle's neck. He conceives himself as my only heir.
And who is he to you?
He's a leech on my aging body. He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
I fail to see why you made him your major domo.
He needed to know his place, so I taught him.
Dang.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Have I done something wrong, officer? Because if not, I think I will move on.
Is this familiar to you?
Do I look like a copper snitch? Don't look at them. They'll serve us if necessary.
Alright. Maybe there's something I missed.
I know I can handle the news. I know I can handle the news.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
Please let me out.
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Please let me out.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
Maybe I can ask him.
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Let's see. We could probably just use this to look up what's going on with the mom's case. It's not really a crime. Complaints. Let's try complaints. Let's see if we can find Minecraft's complaints. Witnesses. Documentation. Nothing there. They don't have anything for the deaths. It's just crimes. Witnesses, victims, officers, impounds, criminal patterns. I don't think the doctor, that was what the mother actually got reported like that. That was one paper in the case. That's it. Alright, let's see what we got in our casebook. I've got this ticket. Let's try to ask about this ticket in the cells.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
Please let me out.
I know I can handle the news.
Maybe let's talk to the officer.
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Wow. go further out. Okay, we got some gossip right here. Listen in. Vendetta. Nope. Wife is devastated. Nope. Alright, you gotta be quick on those.
Did you hear Basilio Coppello is in jail? A dead body was found in his shoulder. Did you hear Basilio Coppello?
Alright, we got it. My curiosity has been piqued by talk that Basilio Coppello, the owner of the famous Armored Coppello home security company, has been arrested. His situation is quite peculiar. A man named Nicolio Didi has been found dead inside a safe in Basilio's store. Basilio claims innocence, but the evidence is against him. He is being held in the holding cells at the police station.
In the police? Let's pretend to be cops, eh? We can just stand around and look confused.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, officer, you should ask someone else about that.
Alright.
Good day. Your ticket, please, if you want me to help you. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. Don't you understand what a ticket is? This is not a ticket.
I'd like to check the evidence from this case.
And who are you?
Oswald sent me. I'm a consulting detective.
His partner, then? Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder. What a bunch of degenerates. Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
Alright, so we got more evidence.
An emergency kit for boredom. A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner. A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings. Her key to the altar room.
The letter that was found in Virgil's evidence box. Is your mind unsound? You can't control your bitterness. Not around me anyway. For me, it's too great a risk to ignore that kind of behavior. I can be, speak, and play with anyone I choose. I'm not another mestista. You pay me, but you haven't bought me. Of course, I'll keep all your generous donations, even though they hardly compensate for your last terrible outburst. I'm leaving you, although Mestatista will still be around, Fabio.
Not the time for privacy.
Got a book. Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake. So this is their Satan book.
That's not for bedtime reading. This Ex Libris belongs to Manchios Library.
The police found this occult book in Mestiza's bag during the arrest. According to the ex-libraries, the tome was taken from Mr. Manchios' collection. It contains illustrations and depictions of rituals similar to the crime scene. Prepare. Okay, yeah. I mean, we know
The book
what
describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room.
Alright. It's another key.
It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone.
Another set of keys.
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring. Werner's personal sketchbook. Thank you, officer.
Alright, that should be everything. Let's see what John's talking about. Another masterclass in eavesdropping from the peerless Sherlock Holmes. Clear eyes, all ears, can't lose. I never doubted that Sherry would get what we needed from those gossipers. He's truly got quite the knack for it. That's my Sherlock. He helped me clean up this island, and I wrote an article that would make a difference. If only I had a publisher. I never doubted that Sherry would get what we needed from those gossipers. He's truly got quite the knack for it. Alright, John keeps writing the same thing. I wish they would have mixed it up a bit, you know. Alright, let's question Virgil. And we can question the other guy again.
So, the police found a letter from Fabio in your pocket.
I cannot tell if it was truly in my pocket at all. Perhaps it was placed there later.
Well, that is one hypothesis. If it were true, then how did it get there?
No clue. But this night has been rather eccentric. Such a detail could have easily eluded me.
Indeed. Do you recall reading it?
I can't remember that either. But I tend to respect privacy. Reading others' personal notes is not one of my perversities.
Oh, let's go here. She might not.
This is the letter the police found in Mr. Vogel's pocket. Fabio wrote it. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. Although I can feel Fabio's energy. It's there, but it refuses to let me analyze it. I've nothing to say.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped, I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so. Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
And this whole group is evil. Let's go back to the Mind Palace. Mastista have used the ritual on Fabio. Yeah. The letter may have been for Machios. Oh, okay. That makes actually a lot of sense. Alright, back to the casebook. Let's ask him about this.
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Alright, let's ask Vogel again.
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt Manchios.
Well, that makes sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it. Though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still not be enough to clear you with the police. But fear not, I will persevere.
I hope your attempt to put things straight will make up for...
you being on a bender?
Touché.
Vogel took the letter under the influence. Machios planted the letter. Yeah, he was under the influence. Or Kurt Machios slipped the letter into Virgil's pocket to make him look like a suspect. Could be either or. But he did say he was under the influence.
Please let me out.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
I've nothing to say.
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchios?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchios?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
Fabio broke Kurt's heart. Okay. Okay. Kurt Manchios is the murderer, as I suspected. So, it's a crime of passion. For years, Fabio played with Kurt's heart and abused his interest. When Manchios received yet another rejection, he murdered Fabio and staged a love ritual to avoid suspicion. Kurt Manchios was heartbroken and panicked and did not mean to kill Fabio. The improvised ritual was a desperate attempt to cover up the crime. A prison sentence should be enough for his harsher punishment. It's the death of his love. No. Kurt Manchios killed Fabio in cold blood. He staged the crime as a ritual to blame Matista. He planted the letter in Virgil's pocket to avoid suspicion. Manchios has no consideration for the life of others and deserves to be deleted. Okay, we'll go with that one. We finally brought him to justice, guys.
The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her. So, Santos.
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum. Will he be executed?
But what for? He informed the police as to the crime, that was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel. He had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat as you plan. You put Fabio's letter in his pocket when he was intoxicated, didn't you?
You can't be serious.
Your fingernails.
You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful, and Fabio, with his words and deeds, made you feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
Yeah, right.
You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you, since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties. It was your way of avoiding suspicion. A respectable man in his 60s,
early 60s,
who hosts the cream of Cordona's society, cannot possibly be a murderer. But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
We can very often deduce someone's life by their shoes or their fingernails. You are a meticulous person, but this murder was fairly traumatic and filthy. After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap from under your fingernails. The devil is in the details, Mr. Manchios.
Nonsense. I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned. The young performer played with your emotions. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the way you would have liked. You wanted to be loved, but Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception was unbearable. You struck him, and then you staged the ritual. You planted the letter in Vogel's pocket and attempted to set up Matista.
What poppycock? Sherlock, stop this game now.
There is no stop word, Mr. Manchios. Relax and enjoy it. I'll pass the remainder of this case to Constable Oswald. He'll know what to do with you.
Alright, let's go report this. Not as a cop, but as Sherlock himself.
I have a name for you. Kurt Manchios.
Is that so? The Master of the Sabbath?
The man himself. Mr. Manchios couldn't stand to lose control over his lover. A deadly revenge that deserves a proper sentence. I have all the evidence to charge him.
A degenerate and a murderer. I'll make a name thanks to that for sure. As for my part, not everything
Get
was
a
in
trophy.
place.
Get justice
Perhaps
for
some
Fabio.
documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones. Including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
This area is restricted. Oh, you did it, Sherlock! The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo!
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it? No compromises? No lies? You're happy with your decisions?
It was the best decision I could obtain. The truth must be told in the way it is most acceptable.
You're making progress, Sherlock. I was right to believe in you. By the way, did you get that precious information about your mother? Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is
still don't
often
trust
preferred to
Vogel.
an uncomfortable truth.
I know he's got,
Still,
some
I
skeletons
believe that the latter
somewhere.
should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
That's quixotism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections, love, and sanity. And it's all corruptible.
Lies destroy human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in this world, Sherlock?
Oh, yes. It's a struggle, but yes, we can make our own decisions. That's what I fight for.
And what an endless fight it is. Will you ever give yourself a break, Sherlock? You're a walking contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track? I cannot look away, but perhaps I should take a few steps back. You're an accident waiting to happen, dear. Until then, I shall bid you adieu.
Alright. Get out of here.
He's even been putting up posters. Poor man. Losing it may be the death of him.
Let's do this just for fun. Little eavesdrop.
He's even been putting up posters. Poor man. Losing it.
Selling antiques. Robbed last year. Nope. Music teacher. To earn his bread, okay.
He's even been putting up.
I was being very stealthy, Sherlock, and you threw it all away. Come on, pull yourself together.
He's even been putting up.
Alright, we can get this. Robbed last year, nope. They keep slightly changing it on me.
He's even been putting up posters.
Selling antiques, nope. Earn his bread, nope. Citrus Galadio, yes. Robbed last year, nope. Nope. Yep. Yep. A local music teacher has been putting up posters in Central Scaladia around St. Clement's Cathedral, appealing for information about his stolen violin. Get a new side case. I'm gonna go, let's see. Oh, we got something in the police archives. I guess we didn't pick it up. Good thing I looked at my case board. Report number 0743. Officers arrived to find deceased identified as Miss Violet Holmes laying in the garden of Stonewood Manor. What? The garden? Outside? Visual inspection showed the victim to be thoroughly soaked with a deep vertical incision 2 inches in length down her throat. Her face was swollen and covered with red blotches, likely cause of death, hypoxia. Awaiting confirmation from the medical examiner, main suspect Otto Richter was arrested on the scene. The body was sent for an autopsy. So that's what really happened to Sherlock's mom. Sherlock and what's his name? Forgot the brother's name. It escapes me. Another flashback. Mycroft, that's his name. His brother's name is Mycroft.
The garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Alright, let's get over there. It makes sense why Sherlock blocked it out. We got this elephant.
I imagine Goliath was surprised to find out his lady was not real.
Let's see. She drowned. She didn't drown. Splinter memory.
Sherry, please listen to me. Sherry.
John, I always listen to you.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to go through. I don't know what is beyond this door, but I can feel it. Buzzing, angry, like a fly at the window.
I know. I can sense it too.
You locked away this memory for a reason. There is only pain here.
Pain? And truth?
You do not need to suffer either. There is so much more we can do on Cordona, so many others we can help. There is no coming back from this.
I have to finish this. I think that Sherlock deserves to know what happened to his mother. I mean, solve his mother's case of all. He's helped a lot of people be brought to justice for their crimes. And I think that he deserves to know what happened to his mom. He is a master detective.
John, my anima, my brother, there is nothing more important in this moment than this truth. I know you fear for me, but my path was set long ago. I can no more step off it than I can ask the avalanche to roll back uphill.
Just please be careful, Sherry. I love you.
Quite. Come on.
He's a good brother.
We'll go together.
Good brother. A better brother than Minecraft. Minecraft was not a good brother, but his other brother's pretty nice.
Why didn't I remember we had such a big garden?
Maybe you forgot it for your own good. That's the descendant of a tree your father planted in London, correct?
Indeed, we planted the sprout here, and for a while it grew happily. Alas, it seems without us here to care for it, it didn't survive.
Alright, let's check out the garden.
Ah yes, the statue of Merope. My mother was trying to restore it. What a pity she never had the opportunity to finish.
Alright. This backyard is massive. Some kind of tea table.
Mother? That's from Mother's favorite tea set. What is it doing in here?
Come here, Sherry. Hurry!
arguing. He's basically telling her that her husband is not alive, but she refuses to believe it. She's kind of going crazy, but he's trying to solve it with experiments. It's not working.
These must help calm her down.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? Is everything all right?
Don't go, Mother, wait!
But this was her.
I remember this artifact from Mother's collection. Mother's work journal. I liked poring over the detailed pages and reading about my parents' collection.
Here it is. We'll just borrow it for a while.
Did you hear that? Someone's coming. Let's take a peek. You call this progress? Charlotte,
That's my
amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
Any result is progress, even if it is a worsening of her condition. It informs my...
No. I have made my decision. She must be sent to a legitimate medical facility. I will not let her hurt Sherlock.
What? Master Holmes, you do not understand.
That will be all. I expect you to have left the house by week's end.
Sherry, say something. Can you hear me? You're scaring me.
Sherlock, I'm here. Come closer. I'm waiting for you.
Coming, Mother! This was for my mother, wasn't it? I remember how we came to the garden for a breath of fresh air.
Take me to my flowers, Sherry. They must already be in bloom.
As you wish, Mum.
His memories are coming back. It looks like he suppressed this memory pretty
I
hard
bet
to
you missed
forget
the
all
fresh
this.
air, didn't you?
Terribly. The sun is far brighter than I remember. But I like it.
We can walk each day from now on, if you want.
That would be wonderful. Just look at them. The stars of the earth. Even the sky must be jealous of their beauty.
Indeed. Mother, would you like to go around the water?
That would be perfect. I always wanted such a nice pond in London. It looks so peaceful.
Mycroft knew you would like it.
We should put some fish in it, don't you think?
How about some carp?
That's a nice idea. Let's visit your father's tree. It grows so fast, just like you.
We could even build a tree house in it.
Yes, Sherry. Speaking of your father, could you call him out, please?
Mom! I'm sorry. He passed away. He's gone.
No, he's not.
I'm telling the truth. Did you forget again?
No! Don't you dare say such things! You are a liar like all the others!
Mother!
Don't call me that! You aren't fooling me!
No! Mom, it hurts!
My son would never lie!
Mom, stop!
Who are you? Reveal yourself!
Please, stop! It's me, Sherlock!
Oh, man. So this is what really happened.
You are not my Sherry! Get me my son back or I'll kill you!
Wow. So, anytime anybody says that her husband wasn't alive, she flips and tries to take them out. Wow. Risk of side effects. Dr. Richter experimented on my mother with unconventional drugs and treatments. Every dose had a risk of side effects. Increased tolerance. My mother used sedatives frequently, so her body had built up a tolerance. It wouldn't be a danger to her. Mother tried to take him out. Mycroft accused Dr. Richter. After Mycroft caught Otto Richard, he blamed him for our mother's death. Oh, okay. He drowned. Someone drowned her, either by accident or on purpose. Oh, here we go. Otto Richter. But this is the mystery of Sherlock's mother's death. Otto Richter is responsible. My mother, Violet, was drowned by Otto Richter. Mycroft accused him of murder, but it's unclear if Otto killed her deliberately. Deliberate murder. Otto killed my mother to end her suffering and save my life. Mycroft hid the truth to protect me and was correct in accusing Otto of impropriety. An accident. Otto killed my mother while trying to save me. The drowning was an accident, and he desperately attempted a tracheotomy to save her. Mycroft hid the truth to protect me and wrongly accused Otto. Ooh. Let's see. It's an uncomfortable truth, but I don't think he did it on purpose. Just after, you know, seeing all the evidence and everything like that, I think he did actually try to save her, and Mycroft just stumbled upon him. And he did actually save us too from her. So he did try to do a trick. I think he did try to do a trick. I don't think he did it on purpose. This is a hard choice, guys, but I guess this is the end. A couple minutes to really think about it. He was doing a lot of experiments, medicine, all that, because she kept, you know, having the violent outbursts. Really difficult choice, guys. You could almost say it could be either or, but just based on the notes that I read in her room, medicine, the flashbacks, everything in the rooms, and then actually seeing her real condition, you know, in first person, he could have actually taken her out to save Sherlock, but he also could have tried to save her too. Because Mycroft warned him that if he didn't commit her to an institution, that she would hurt Sherlock, because he might say the wrong thing, which he did say the wrong thing. Of all the cases, wow. Of all the cases, guys. Okay, I'm gonna make a choice. I could say deliberate, but I'm gonna go with an accident. I'm gonna go with an accident. Would the drowning have been an accident though? I don't think so. Or maybe she was still in her rage and then he got me, he moved me, and then she was still in her rage and then I'll go with an accident. That's what I'm feeling.
Sherlock. Sherlock. Can you hear me? Come on, wake up.
Get off me.
Sherry.
You knew, and more than that, you hid it from me.
You couldn't bear the truth, Sherlock, so I shouldered it for you. I took your pain, your horror.
Otto Richter murdered my mother, and Mycroft covered it up. Whisked me away from this place, buried me in schoolwork, and left the past to rot.
And you needed a way to cope, so I helped.
You were a lie, John, a fiction, a crutch.
No, I was a friend. Sherlock, please.
Sherlock?
What?
Are you okay?
I don't know.
I told you not to come, Sherlock. Where is he?
Who?
Your friend, John.
He's beside you.
Was all this worth it? Is he worth it?
Why is he here?
I think, in his own way, he was trying to protect me. A truth I couldn't bear. But now I must face it.
Wow. So John was a figment of his imagination.
Sherlock, what are you doing?
You!
Whoa.
You kept me in the dark and kept your actions quiet. You enabled Richter and his untested quackery for far too long. And worse, you wanted to lock up our mother.
I wanted to give you a chance at normalcy, childhood. There was no changing what happened, no good to come of dwelling in the past.
It was lies upon lies. Otto Richter was trying to save her, but you decided he deserved to take the fall. Is that justice?
The big picture, Sherlock. The big picture. Perhaps Richter was not responsible for her fit of rage, but his treatment led inexorably to that moment. You were so fragile.
Wow.
I could not... I just couldn't. I chose us over him.
You know...
This is cinema.
For once, I believe you. Perhaps now that the truth is out, I can actually do what you had hoped. Leave it all in the past.
Good. You have your whole life ahead of you, Sherlock. It is time you got on with it.
Alright, so I guess Mycroft wasn't that bad. But he knew that the truth would hurt Sherlock. And we found out that
I was worried there for a minute, Sherry.
imaginary friend John.
Really worried. I didn't want to hurt you.
It makes sense why. It makes sense why he kept saying the same things.
I am talking to myself, John.
You know, inappropriate times while we were doing cases.
I think I was hurt regardless.
It makes sense
But
that
we
he's an
made a good
imaginary
team,
friend. So this guy does not
Explored
exist.
every inch of
It's
this
all in
place
his
together.
imagination.
Helped a lot of people. Terrorized a few too, I
Created
suppose.
John as a
I
way
think
to
I may
cope
go so far as to say, Sherry,
What happened with his mother?
I have not lived wholly in vain.
So that's it. It's over.
You've opened every door, Sherry. Faced the past you locked away. You don't
Glad I
need me
came back to
anymore.
the game.
I know.
To, wrap it all up. I was about to
We'll
drop
miss
this
you all
game
the same.
because the cases just got so dark.
I don't want you to go.
But it ended on a good note.
Yes, you do.
Goodbye, John.
And it did make sense because if you notice, John, a lot of times he would basically go from place to place to place to place. I got a trophy for beating the game.
Why are you here?
Closure, I suppose. And to help a friend.
You and I are not friends. In a race between the thawing of the ice caps and our friendship, I would buy a boat.
Ha! Is that right?
I can see it now. I know what you did.
What did I do?
You needled me. From the moment we met, you were searching for weakness. You pushed me to pursue the truth about my mother. You questioned everything I did, everything I believed to break me. To blur truth and fiction, reality, morality. A saboteur in silk. Was it vengeance, Werner? Or do you prefer Klaus?
Excuse me?
You are Klaus Richter, Otto's younger brother. Do you hold me responsible for his end?
Ha! There was no love lost between me and my brother. I am sure you can relate. Otto was merely the gravity that pulled me into your orbit. Or you into mine.
Wow,
Once
that
I
makes
met
sense.
you, I could not keep away.
Why? What reason do you have for all this?
To help you.
You're lying.
To show you that you were wrong.
More lies. I know you now, Werner. Try again.
To see what had happened. Or is that yet another untruth? Doesn't matter. Take your pick. Who cares? You're my masterpiece. I turned Sisyphus into Ozymandias. You could not see the futility of your quest until I helped you to let go of the rock. And now, nothing beside remains.
I remain. Despite you and to spite you.
It is a matter of will and power now. Will you overcome this, or shall you decay? Oh, on that note, I brought you something.
I want
twist at the
nothing
end was
more from you.
When one wants for
crazy.
nothing, Sherlock, the best thing to get them is something personal.
John's imaginary.
So, here you are. Now, please
the
excuse me
brother
about
of
the
the
gallery
doctor that
calls. I'm already conceiving my
deleted his
next
mom.
project.
Wow. He made a painting of us.
You really are beautiful.
So he's saying that Sherlock is a mental case. Basically.
To London soon after our disagreement. He enrolled at Cambridge University but attends only the rare classes that hold his interest. I hear he took employment at a hospital laboratory, obsessing over his experiments. I suppose he seeks solace in the empirical truth of a chemical test. I am afraid for him. His evenings are spent alone, solving citizens' menial mysteries to pass the time. And I suspect he is growing paranoid. One of my agent's vehicles recently ignited during a surveillance operation. She was lucky to get out alive. There is only one man who could orchestrate such a feat. Or perhaps two. I saved my brother. He will never forgive me.
Wow. So this is what happened after. He's going crazy.
I found it! I found it! I found it!
And what is that?
How far, bruises may be produced after death. How are you? You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive.
How on earth did you know that?
Never mind. The question now is about bruising. No doubt you see the significance of this discovery of mine.
It is interesting, no doubt, but practically...
Why, it is the most practical medico-legal discovery for years. Had we these data sooner, hundreds of men would have paid the penalty for their crimes. Cases oft hinge upon how a man died. Now, we can know which wounds he suffered alive, which occurred post-mortem, and what instrument was responsible. And ergo, one will soon be able to calculate with utmost precision when and where death occurred, sparing the innocent and damning the guilty.
Well, then you are to be congratulated.
Indeed. But, you came here on business.
Correct again. I am looking for someone with whom to take diggings, and heard you were complaining that you could get no one to go halves with you.
I have my eye on a suite in Baker Street, which would suit us down to the ground. You don't mind the smell of strong tobacco, I hope?
I smoke ships myself.
That's good enough. I get in the dumps at times, and don't open my mouth for days on end. Just let me alone, and I'll soon be right.
He's trying to help
what have
other
you to
people
confess?
He couldn't be helped.
It's best for two fellows to know what bruises each other carries before they begin to live together. My last companion and I...
Well, I object to rows because my nerves are shaken. And I get up at all sorts of ungodly hours. And I am extremely lazy. I have another set of vices when I'm well. But those are the principal ones at present.
Do you include violin playing in your category for rouse?
It depends on the player. A well-played violin is a treat for the gods. A badly played one.
Oh, no, that's all right. I think we may consider the thing as settled.
Is that his imaginary...
forgive my manners. My attention wavers. Sherlock Holmes.
Dr. John Watson.
John.
Dr. John Watson. Wow. That was something. I gotta say, I've never seen a game like this. I really have never seen a game like this. The way the mysteries are solved, the evidence, and, you know, questioning people, etc., etc. The closest thing was that mission in Hitman 3 in the manor. But even that didn't touch this. They did everything like super perfect as far as like the processes of the investigations, and then how they weaved all of those cases through with his story, and then gave us that twist at the end. This whole time we thought that John was a real person. He's just a figment of his imagination, and Sherlock suppressed his memories from his younger time because his mother was insane and tried to take him out. And then the guy he meets when he's on the journey to remember it happens to be the brother of the guy who took him out. Took her out, I mean. I would give this game a 10 out of 10. Just because of the atmosphere, like, you know, the cases, they got darker and darker and darker. And then you really got to see, like, you know, like some true crime type stuff. And I think the way they did it, they just executed on it very well. and then they tied it up at the end perfectly. And then at the end, when you saw Sherlock go crazy, that was like, wow. Like, you didn't really think about it. You thought, he's just a person solving cases, but he's actually an insane person that's obsessed with trying to get justice because of what happened to him. That's something. This game will definitely leave a lasting impression, and this is why I do playthroughs, because you never know what you're gonna experience, with the new game. There's lots of new experiences and things to learn. That's why I believe it's good to, play different games. I used to, only play like Call of Duty, Battlefield, just multiplayer games. And then after the original Modern Warfare 3, not the new one, but the one back in the day, I started to, play different story-based games. I wasn't a streamer back then. I had dabbled in YouTube. I had a YouTube channel when I was 15. So I'm 24 now, and it was under the same name, KD Arsenal 141. But I didn't grow it that much. I did it for a little bit and then stopped. But this is an entirely new channel, and this time I don't intend on stopping. I intend on doing this YouTube thing for a very long time. All right, now this menu screen makes sense. So Sherlock Holmes is insane, obsessed with solving cases. His shadow right there, his imaginary friend. And you've got the mask. I don't know if they added that, but you've got the elephant. You can see. You've got the papers, the notes. You've got the mask from that party. And some of the other stuff on this start screen. It's crazy. This game is just insane. Like, I don't even know what to say. I appreciate the support from you guys. Getting me to 100 subscribers, and the support you guys are showing on Instagram. I put a lot of really good pictures on Instagram. I'm sure you guys enjoy those from my vacation last year in China. And you guys really support me on X Twitter as well. I think I got like 32 followers on Twitter. So, slowly but surely, my community is growing. We hit 100 subscribers. The next goal is like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And we got to get our Twitch followers up too. I want to get to 50 subscribers on, or not subscribers, but followers on Twitch. Let's see. Okay, and one last thing. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do the giveaway. 2 books. 1 for YouTube and 1 for Twitch. The Twitch one's not gonna be hard because I know all the names. YouTube, I don't know all the names. And so I guess if you want to enter the giveaway for my signed copy on YouTube, comment on the video, comment on any video giveaway, because on the analytics screen I see all your comments as just one page, so I can see all the comments. So it doesn't matter what video you comment on, just so that you comment, and you can say, just comment giveaway 100, comment giveaway 100, and you can enter your name. Just because YouTube doesn't show all the names of my subscribers, it only shows a few, and I want to make it fair. So if you want to enter the giveaway, comment on any of my videos on YouTube, giveaway 100. And if you're on Twitch, I'm going to just look at my followers on Twitch and randomly pick a name for the giveaway on Twitch. It's a lot easier. I already have the books. I'm pretty sure you've seen the community post I did on YouTube. I had a box of author copies. Alright, that's it for the stream. I guess this is going to be the end for this game. It's been a journey, guys. It's been a journey. I will see you guys in the next stream for Wukong. We're going to do that tomorrow because it's late, so we'll be back in Wukong tomorrow.